everybody, welcome back. What was I doing? I guess we'll just get into a note, right? I mentioned the Brian thing yesterday and I had a note about that. I haven't been reading the book this week because I've been off of work, and I read the book when I drive home from work. I could have still listened to it, but I didn't because I'm lazy. Are their names Star Slap? Star Slap. He's just slapping me. I like the little slap thing. So the whole Brian thing. Ugh. I've been listening to this podcast called It Feels Like the First Time. They listen to, they watch. It's an old podcast from like 5 years ago where they watched Lost and they talk about each episode, because I'm rewatching Lost and it's fun to listen to. But there's one of the guys on the show, he just, at least once an episode, he just burps as loud as he can into the microphone. And it's not funny. The other people there, they don't laugh. I don't know why he does it. But I've been thinking about that, like, because I kind of hate when he does it. Because sometimes I'm eating during it. And I'm just like, stop. Why are you doing that? It's so aggressive. Like, why? Oh, I think I was supposed to go that way. What's going on here? The Lakitu's got the Shy Guy on a fishing pole? I don't understand what is happening. I guess the Lakitu was fishing and he caught the Shy Guy and now he can't get it off. Okay, that's interesting. So I was just thinking about that because I always get kind of like burpy, like, ugh. And now I know, like, if I was listening and I was just like burping into the microphone, I wouldn't like that, so I won't do it. So the Brian thing, the Solve for Happy book, the guy mentioned the voice in your head. It's helpful to think of it as a separate thing from you, because when you're not thinking, you don't stop being a person, so it's a vantage point outside of you. It's there to bring up things, to help you, to keep you safe, but it's not there to hurt you, or to cause suffering, or to make you think about the past too much. So you can kind of shut it down. Or you should shut it down if it's hurting you. Because it's not you, it's like a thing in your head. That's helpful sometimes, but I need to heal. I'm running out of mushrooms. I guess the next time I leave this area, I have to buy stuff. I never buy anything. I think that whole Brian thing is... So I named my voice Brian because I'm stupid. Brian sounds like brain. I think that's supposed to be helpful to you if you are... So like this guy, his son died. And obviously he was going through a really hard time, and he was probably thinking about his son all the time, and it was making him sad. So he had to find a way to stop doing that, to stop hurting himself for no reason. What's the point of just constantly thinking about your dead son and how he used to be so happy and now he's dead? It doesn't help anybody to think about that stuff. So he came up with this thing like, oh, it's Brian in your head. I don't really have that problem, I don't think. My Brian, he seems like a pretty rational guy. He brings up stuff that seem important. They don't seem crazy, the stuff he thinks of. And he's not constantly bringing up stuff that's like doesn't make sense. I don't think that's my problem. Like it's just when I'm around people. That's the thing. I keep saying it. Sorry. I don't like being around people. It's kind of a big problem. Like anybody. I've never met anybody I've ever enjoyed being around. Or I never like look forward to being like, oh, you have to talk to this person today. That's gonna be fun. Or you have to hang out with this person. That's good. That's never happened. Since when I was a kid, I feel like... Yeah, I've mentioned that before. I can think of, like, for example, my cousins. I would see them on Fridays, and it'd be like... I can remember being in school and thinking, oh, I'm excited to see them and play. We would go to my grandparents' house, and we had a Super Nintendo in the basement. And I would think, oh, that'll be fun. We'll play Super Nintendo with my cousins, and I like them. I was like 8, and that's the last memory I have of liking being around people. It's kind of scary when you think about it like that. The only other things I can think of are, like, I liked when I went to the baseball game last year. Went to a Met game. But when I went with my parents. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm so excited to see my parents. And I was just excited it'll be fun to be in the Met game, and the crowd will be loud, and like the Mets are good, so it'll be a fun game to watch live. That was it. When I see my brothers in California, I'm not excited to see them. Ugh. I'm depressing myself again. How is that possible? That's not a normal thing, right? Like, you just never, like... I mean, my parents are really good people. My brothers are really nice. They're funny and smart. I should like being around them, but I don't. But it's just that thing of, like, I don't like myself, so that's why. If I like myself, I guess it would make it easier to like other people. I like the sound the shell makes when you kick it. It's like a sound. Whenever I watch ASMR, I like the tongue clicking. I don't know what that is. Whenever I hear the tongue, like the... It makes my head tingle. I guess that's all I had to say about Brian. I want to like myself. That's it. I don't like myself and I want to like myself. That's my goal. I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. There was a book that I remember reading a lot when I was a kid called Fortunately, Unfortunately. Fortunately, I know what I need to be happy. Unfortunately, I don't know how to get it. I know I need to like myself, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't thought about that book in a while. I don't even know if that's the right name. What was the book called? I'm sure it's pretty famous. Fortunately, Unfortunately book. What's it called? It's kind of a fun book. Yeah, it's just what it's called. It's just called Fortunately, I guess. The cover is him. So the whole book is just like, what's this say? Fortunately, there was a parachute. Unfortunately, I had a hole in it. Fortunately, I landed in water. Unfortunately, there was a shark in the water. That's just the whole book. It's a fun idea for a book. For a kid's book. What's this? This is fun. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever mentioned this. I was talking about the opposite of Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger is when the more you know about something, the less confident you are in like your knowledge of it, and the less you know, the more confident you are. I talked about, I think in one of the Mario episodes actually. I remember the title I put was All the Perceived Intelligence, None of the Work. So watch that one. I think I talked about it more. I think I just googled like what's the opposite of Dunning-Kruger, and it just said imposter syndrome. I was like, oh duh, I have that. That's just like you never think you're good enough for, you're worried people are gonna find out like you're a fraud. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this is fun. There's a toy on the shelf. It's the world famous Super Mario. But can you jump? Burn? I like Gino. I guess I brought that up because I don't know. I was always like, I have the opposite of Dunning-Kruger. What's that? It's called imposter syndrome. Which is also bad, obviously. When you hear about this Dunning-Kruger thing, you think, oh, well, I'll just say I don't know anything, and then I'll make people think I'm smart. That's kind of true. But it doesn't actually make you smart. It just makes you feel bad about yourself if you're just constantly saying, oh, I'm dumb and I don't know anything. It's not helpful for you to be thinking those things. Oh, I'm getting whoopy. Does Gino? What's happening here? It is weird that we never see these characters ever again. It's kind of cool. They came up with new characters for this game. Paper Mario, you get a Goomba and you get a Koopa, you get a Boo as companions. But this game, they're just like, I don't know, make it a cloud that cries and he thinks he's a frog. It's like, what? This is puppet person who's like got a pellet gun for an arm. It's cool. Just thinking of stuff. Come up with new characters. They do Paper Mario, it's always just like, oh, it's a Goomba. You get a Goomba. Goombas are cool, but do something new. Be better. I'm judging you. Okay, whatever. Can I leave? I've got to end. I'm over time. This is interesting. How you can walk around while they're talking. Okay. That's it. See you tomorrow.